the secret to the name it and claim it doctrine found right here so you can be successful in it. So let's check this out. We are in Mark chapter 11, verses 20 through 24, which says, "So Jesus answered and said to them, 'Have faith in God.'" So Jesus is going to contrast faith with doubt here. He goes on to say in verse 23, "For assuredly I say to you," and this is where people get the basis of things like the name it and claim it doctrine. He says here, "For assuredly I say to you, that whoever says to this mountain, 'Be removed and be cast into the sea,' and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. Therefore, I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you receive them and you will have them." So these two verses are many times taken apart. They like to separate them in most teachings on the name it and claim it doctrine. But it's key that you actually keep it together. It's key that you keep things in context. So what's going on around it? So look at these again. You can have anything you ask for, but it needs to be through prayer. See, here's the problem, is many people, they like to hold on to the promise, but they don't understand that God gives them a way to get to the promise, basically a vehicle to get there. And then they live their life without the vehicle, and they find their Christian walk to be fruitless and difficult. And so they're always frustrated. But check this out again. In verse 24, it says, "Therefore I say to you, whatever things you ask for when you pray, believe that you receive them and you will have them." So the key is prayer. When you're asking for things in prayer. So what happens when you're truly worshiping God? You're truly putting Him first. You're talking to Him. You know, my own self, my own desires, they actually become much smaller. And I start to think more of Him. I start to want and desire heavenly things, not earthly things. Now picture this. Picture you want to go to the Queen of England, or the King of England nowadays, I guess. I'm guessing there's going to be certain protocols you're going to have to go through to even get in their presence. Well, maybe, just maybe, that the King of the entire universe, the creator of the universe, maybe there's protocols to go through to get into His presence as well. Now, I'm not saying that any of us need to be perfect to get to God and talk to Him, but let's actually see what Jesus actually shared on how this should be done. In Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 through 13, it says, "In this manner," this is Jesus talking, "In this manner, therefore pray, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name." So He's lifting God up. He's giving God glory. Hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So number 2, He's seeking God's will to be done, not my own will. Important key. Then He goes on to actually ask for things. Give us this day our daily bread. Not give us this day a whole bunch of stuff. Give us this day $1 billion. Interesting. Remember back in the children of Israel, they're in the wilderness, and God gave them manna. But it didn't matter how much you collected, it was only enough for one day. Even if you collected a whole bunch, it would melt. And if you collected up not enough, it worked out. So God gave them their daily needs, not necessarily a future huge amount. Interesting. And then He goes on to say, "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors." I think actually later this week we're going to tackle this concept. And He closes with, "And do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen." So when I'm coming to God truly in prayer, and I'm seeking His glory, His will, not my own selfish things, but when I'm asking for His will to be done, And here's the key. My will, as I spend time in prayer, my will should decrease. I should stop caring as much about my own glory, but actually my will becomes more like his, not his will becoming more like mine. John the Baptist, he actually said in John 3:30, he said, Jesus must increase, but I must decrease. See, it's hugely important that my will starts to become less as I start to ask God for things. And that's why he could say the original promise that whatever you ask in my name, as you're spending time with me in prayer, as you're seeking me, you can ask anything and then I will give it because we are spending time with him. My will is actually becoming more like his. And so I'm asking the things that he actually is desiring to see happen. So change your prayer time to becoming more like him, not just trying to be more like yourself. Thank you guys so much. I sure love you guys.